When it comes to ocean water quality along Hawaii Island shores, preservation efforts on the west side seem to be the envy of the east side. During a recent two-day water quality workshop at the University of Hawaii at Hilo, West Hawaii projects took center stage.
Hawaii Island has some very unique hydrology.
For example, in Puako,
all of our water that comes as precipitation very quickly percolates into the soil and moves down into the groundwater.
Where this Coral Reef Alliance video lays out the issues.
And on Hawaii Island, on-site sewage treatment like septic tanks or cesspools are the main way of treating sewage. All the sewage goes into the cesspool and there's holes to allow the liquids to drain off. The fate of that sewage is then to the groundwater below. That groundwater then flows towards the ocean out to the shoreline.
The west coast of this island is one of the most highly monitored shorelines of the whole state.
Erica Perez from the Coral Reef Alliance gave a presentation at the Hilo workshop.
We focus on land-based sources of pollution. We focus on fisheries management. For specifically Puako and water quality around the cesspools, they've looked at Melka. So they've tested up Melka wells, drinking wells, to look at the same indicators at Melka, and then they've also looked at the two side resorts, which are sewered. And nowhere that they have been sampling is higher than right along the Puako shoreline.
The audience was full of like-minded environmentalists, but there were some skeptics in the crowd.
So is the intention to meet the needs of the people, or is the intention to meet the future forecast of tourism, where Puako is geographically and strategically centered in between Hapuna and
the Manalani and the
We are the environment. If you kept us together as a whole, we would make a difference, all of us. All of you people with all of that talent you got running through your veins.
Terry Napiahi of the Keaukaha Action Network was a co-organizer of the workshop. She has been busy trying to hold government accountable for what happens in Hilo Bay.
Keaukaha Action Network, we've been working on this particular issue for years. They put a raw sewage plant in front of us in the early 60s. They put the pipe a quarter of a mile outside of Puhi Bay where our children swim. This is uncalled for.
At the workshop, Napiahi wanted to know how to get East Hawaii the sort of help West Hawaii is getting.
You know, we'd like to have Nature Conservancy. We'd like to have DLNR prioritize the east side. Your priority is because you're dealing with pristine areas and you'd like to keep it pristine. So what do you do with damaged areas like they consider Hilo to be damaged?
I know that a lot of funding from the government level is funneled to priority sites due to the framework of NOAA. And so NOAA has two priority sites in Hawaii, across the whole entire state, and that's West Maui and it's West Kona, the west side of this island, South Kohala.
Among the many unique features of West Hawaii Island are one of the state's highest concentrations of fish ponds and one of the longest contiguous coral reefs. It's also one of the fastest growing areas in Hawaii, attracting development and tourism to its fine beaches and resorts. In response, many groups have been working to understand, preserve, and restore these systems. And in 2014, the West Hawaii Habitat Focus Area was established, bringing together governments, universities, NGOs, and local communities in a consolidated effort.
And a great deal of funding and resources go directly to those priority areas. This is changing. I think the east side of the island needs to be given resources. They need to be given a voice and to be seen just as much as the west side of the island.
There's approximately 50,000 cesspools on the Big Island.
The Viola Waterkeepers also helped put the workshop together.
Now over 340 waterkeepers. They're actually people who have organizations. So they're called Waterkeeper Alliance because they're just these 501c3s that exist all over the world. So there's 340 of them in over 40 countries on 5 continents that are all connected to the same mission of fishable, swimmable, drinkable water.
They say that a project for Hilo was just approved by their organization.
Hilo Bay Waterkeeper was just approved a couple of weeks ago. So the goal is to staff both of these organizations in 2019.